Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey. Hi, RSY Netzer. I'm bringing you Adam Overlander K today, the Director of Fundraising and Development in the MRJ, who's going to talk to you about Israel.
Hello, RSY Netzer. That's not straight. It is now. So, in the last few weeks, we have sadly seen the death of some major figures in Israel, political, cultural, religious, Ariel Sharon, Rabbi Avadia Yosef, Arik Einstein, and of course today, Shulamit Aloni. And I'm wondering, do we care? Do you care? Should you care? As Bob Grimm of RSY Netzer, what do these people's lives mean to you? And do they have any impact on our lives here in the diaspora? And then I was wondering, should we care about them, major figures in Israeli life, or should we engage more with the people who live there? Will that provide us with a deeper connection to what happens in that place, in that land? I wanted to share with you a short extract of a speech written by Matti Friedman, an Israeli journalist writing in the Times of Israel. I want to pose it to you and just let you think about it over Shabbat if it resonates with you in any way. Not long ago, I was in a playground in Nahariya, which is an ordinary town on the Mediterranean coast up north of it in Israel. It's where my parents live. My kids were on the slides, and nearby a little girl was playing with her father, who was wearing baggy black pants and a white school cap. That meant they'd come in from one of the Druze Arab villages in Western Galilee. There were a few other kids who were speaking Russian with their parents, and there was a horde that had come over from an immigration absorption centre. These kids were freshly arrived from Ethiopia, and they were dressed in donated clothes and spoke Amharic. And there were a few other families in the park speaking Hebrew. These people looked to be 1 or 2 generations removed from the Jewish quarters of North Africa. I've spent my adult life reporting on this country, and much of that involves navigating around cliches: settlers, soldiers, Holocaust survivors, the 6-Day War, Bibi Netanyahu, peace yes, peace no. In the playground, I found myself thinking, where does this playground fit in? Where do I put the Druze kid and the Ethiopian kids and the Russians and my kids in this working class town with no history to speak of and no ideology beyond that of the maintenance of normal life? In other words, when all I have at my descriptive disposal is cliché, what do I do with the actual country of Israel? Israel was, or at least was thought to be, a simpler place. Ben Gurion, Golda Meir, the shofar blowing at the Western Wall. It was an easier place to love from afar. Today's Israel is entirely different, and yet so much of the writing of Israel's history seems still to be going over the same ground. 1948 again, Yom Kippur again. Sometime in the 1980s, it seems, Israel ceased to be a real country and instead became an issue. We need to look at the country now and find the right words to describe it, because a genuine connection to Israel can't be based on political opinions or platitudes or nostalgia for a country that no longer exists, if it ever did. A deep connection can only be formed by an intimacy with the real life of the real people of different faiths living in this country, where the miraculous renaissance of the Jews plays out in strange and surprising ways every day. The heartbeat of this place is not accessible through its politics. It can only be reached through the lives of its people through an ordinary day at the playground. Shabbat Shalom.